Hi, it's Adrienne Oliver with Remax Universal, coming to you today to talk to you about a topic that would be important to some of my active adult clients. So, as many of you know, I have a senior real estate specialist certification, or an SRES. Wanted to talk to you about what I'm seeing in that particular group of clients and help you figure out if this is right for you or not. So, starting to see an outflux from assisted living facilities into co-living situations. So, what co-living situation is where you take another active adult and you basically have a housemate, right? And then you hire a caregiver for you in particular versus going into a facility where everything is kind of already set up for you. So, let's talk about co-living advantages. So, co-living can help counter the typical age-related narrowing experiences of freedom, autonomy, and adventure. So, it can encourage a new way of thinking and living that is deeply fulfilling and financially accessible. So, you can get all of those things out of it. I'm going to go over a couple of different advantages. The first one is physical. So, sharing a household responsibilities can lessen the load, especially if the housemates complement each other's physical strengths or weaknesses. For instance, if only one resident can drive and the other one can't, then one resident could do the errands and the grocery shopping and similar tasks that would extend. And the person who can't drive may be able to stand for long periods of time in the kitchen. So while the person that can drive can't do any cooking, for instance. So one person may hate to dust, the other one won't mind doing the dishes. So find a co-living mate that works for you. Constructing a co-living group basically that complements each other in the end will extend everyone's time and be able to stay in place and age in place and increase your independence. Number 2 is financial. Fewer seniors own their own homes outright these days, so they're more likely to have a mortgage or even a second mortgage and have some consumer debt. 30 years ago, 24% of homeowners aged 65 to 79 carried a mortgage. In 2016, 46% did. So the median balance of most people is about $77,000. Co-living can help the homeowner afford to stay in their home while also reducing the costs for seniors who rent, right? So if you are splitting the mortgage and they only owe 77, their half of their mortgage might be significantly less than if you rented on your own. It can be an excellent way to retain the quality of life and standard of living, despite the potential income that's plummeted upon retirement, right? Sharing space means dividing up utility costs, maintenance expenses. Seniors may also be able to pool other needs, so negotiate lower prices on meal preparation, those type of things. Household cleaning, possibly even health and home therapy. So, if you're hiring a maid service, if you're splitting that with a roommate, it's significantly less than if you're doing it on your own, right? Number 3, psychological and health. Multiple studies have found that health and well-being are acutely social, right? Some of us are having that issue right now with what we're going through as a country, right? So loneliness is one aspect of aging that co-living can actually help with. Researchers have found that the loneliness can be harmful, just as harmful as obesity or smoking 15 cigarettes a day, shortening an individual's life by 15 years. In part, this is because loneliness triggers a release of stress hormones associated with lower resistance in infection. Hormones with lowered resistance in infection, it will also cause elevated blood pressure, increased risk of heart disease, and cancer. Likewise, social isolation can accelerate any cognitive decline. As a sense of belonging in community, you can have scheduled co-living events like movie night or game night, as well as spending time together and enjoying meals. By striking a balance between together time and time for privacy and solitude, residents can enjoy the best of both worlds. So those are 3 things that it helps with. Now, there are some potential pitfalls, right? So you have to be careful. Anytime people live together, there is a potential for conflict. Housemates situations can be difficult at any age, but with cognitive and mobility issues, it can always compound the situation. The homeowner may feel possessive about the household contents and daily routines. In contrast, the new renter, especially one who's left their own home to become a renter, and someone else's, may feel they've lost autonomy in their own environment. A written agreement is the most important thing, I would say, but if it's not in place, make sure that everyone is okay. I would encourage a trial period in this area, and you need to kind of preset what I call the 5 M's of preventing conflict with co-living, right? Money. Create a written agreement that outlines who pays for what and what happens with new household services and supplies, right? That's number 1. Number 2, mess. Individuals have a different tolerance for clutter and dirt. Reach an agreement that keeps both people happy, right? Number 3, more people or pets, right? Outline a policy on guests and pets that will specify which situations arise. How many pets are allowed, if any, how many people can stay overnight, how often, etc. And number 4, mitigate scheduling conflicts. Create a certain guidelines to avoid situations where one resident's plans or meetings overlap. So like a party, a meeting, a game night might conflict with the other one's plans. Figure that out ahead of time. Number 5, manage ownership and privacy issues. Some people need more privacy than others. Written agreement can help prevent friction and will front end determination of what personal possessions are a personal item versus a household item. So I hope you've learned a little bit more about co-living and how it can be advantageous for my active adult population, as well as some things that you should put in place before you consider a co-living situation. If you have any questions about co-living or senior active residences or how I can help you with any of that, please give me a call or send me a text. My cell phone number is 832-217-7141. Thank you. Make it a great day.